I'm turning the cameras on. All right, lift off. This past April, we were on Facebook chatting, and I just said, you know, wouldn't it be cool if we got our pictures taken in space, like the real thing, not a fake background. It literally just started with, dude, I have an idea. This looks pretty simple, but what you see here is 4 carbon fiber rod tubes.
How much time does it take to set up the rig and all that stuff?
This rig is different than the one that we did with the previous example that you saw at the beginning. That one was pretty much a stroll through Walmart and let's see what we can find and see what will work.
What type of material was the balloon made out of?
The balloon itself is made just out of a polymer. It's just a plastic. In fact, we could have brought it. It's in kind of an aluminum sealed pack is the way they ship them. When it explodes, it actually explodes into hundreds of tiny particles. If you look at the video that we put online, right after the balloon pops and the balloon tumbles, you can see all the bits of the plastic.
I thought the presentation was really cool, actually. It brought a new idea and it brought, I guess, a new competition to the 2 schools. And with my idea, it's based off of theirs because they have a square with 4 cameras on each side. And I just thought, why not have one camera that could rotate? You would eliminate piping, that would take away weight. You would also eliminate the other 3 cameras that would take away weight. So it would be easier to take it up, and for that extra weight that's lost, you could build something that would have that one camera rotate.
Rich Garcia and Eric Rader wanted to be astronauts. When that didn't happen, they devised an alternate plan.
We're both engineers. We kind of started figuring this out. Okay, well, we get the weather balloon, and we can mount a picture in front of the video camera, and we need helium, and it went back and forth for about 3 months. Just 3 months of going back and forth and deciding, well, this is going to work. Well, that's not going to work. Well, you know what? The hardest part of this is finding the spacecraft after it comes down. How do we do that?
We went with this APRS system. It's basically ham radio kind of frequencies and repeaters. Essentially, it's going to just be broadcasting the GPS signal, repeaters repeat it, and it plots a point on a website. And we'll provide that website to you guys. So on Saturday, if you want to know where it is, you can actually bring up, say 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock, you go, hey, I wonder where that balloon is. Those crazy guys doing the balloon thing. You can bring up the website, and then you should be able to see a track where it is and where it's going.
I thought it was pretty cool, actually, like how 2 people from Weslaco can actually come up with something like that and work on it, plan it, you get it to actually work. I think that's pretty smart. It motivates me to do something like that too.
We're here putting together our space capsule, and we're going to talk you through it, how the methodology involved in putting this together. It's basically engineering. Identifying the potential problems that could happen and then solving them and building around them.
The original capsule that we launched back in July, it worked, but the problem was we weren't able to attach enough cameras and stuff on there. Richard was like, okay, we want to try to do 4 cameras. Let's, how can we do this? Can we make a square? What can we do? And so then he was like, let's grab some PVC pipe and stuff. And then that's when we got to talking about the different materials. The pipe that here is a construction, it's a carbon fiber. The nice thing about them is they're incredibly light, much lighter than PVC, and they also are much stronger than PVC. They don't flex as much. In the construction of this, the one thing we have to worry about, we have to make sure that the components stay together. Now with the cold, it's negative 40 degrees Celsius, like negative 60 Fahrenheit or so. It can get extremely cold, and adhesives and things that you would normally use down on the ground might work fine, but when you take them up to altitude, they can start to come apart. We remembered from the other video that the craft tumbled when the balloon popped. So we thought about, well, what do we do if this frame takes a good tumble? We don't want it to break apart because then there are going to be pieces raining down from altitude. So we started thinking about some kind of a string around or something to hold it.
It's one string that goes all the way around and keeps it together, but I didn't want to make it super taut and have a possibility of one of these PVC lines cracking. So I thought, well, we need to just make it stiff, but not very, very, very taut. So it's just a little bit loose, so it does give it a little bit away. It provides for the expansion and contraction due to heat loss and heat coming back into the atmosphere.
The last step we're going to do to make sure that it's nice and strong is we're going to use it's Gorilla Tape, kind of like your great duct tape that you would get, and we're going to cut those down and put these on the joints to give it one last hold.
One of the things that we're doing is we're going to aim a camera pointing straight down. So as this balloon goes up, everybody is going to wave, and it's going to capture everybody waving until it just goes up and up and up and up and up into space.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to take it apart. As you can see, we have these nodules, these little holes on the carbon fiber. We're going to be attaching something to this so they're at the wrong angle. I need it to be out instead of up.
The engineering problem we're trying to solve here is we need to make certain that the 1/8 inch diameter holes are perfectly parallel to a horizontal plane. And the reason is that's what's going to hold the picture. So we can look at it and make an estimate to see whether or not it's parallel, but a better test is to actually insert a little rod. So it's imperative that we look at every single little detail. All right, we just put it together. Now let's go see if we can possibly destroy it. And there's a reason for that. We need to make sure that it's going to be able to withstand the impact of falling from 100,000 feet above the Earth's surface. So put it together, take a risk, see what happens, repeat. And you just keep on doing that until you get it right.
This time we're going to be doing 4 cameras, and they're going to each need something to put the picture out away from the camera. So we have a camera, and we have the camera. They come with a camera mount, like a handlebar mount. But you have to put the picture out away from the camera so it can actually focus on it. We have those little holes that are in there. We said, okay, well, we can use those holes, and we can use those little wire things, which Richard had got. But as we looked at those, we noticed that they were a little too flimsy. So then it's like, okay, we need something that we can poke out there that'll be stiff. What do you do? What do you do? And you think, and you think, and you think, and you go, I got an idea. Why don't we use an arrow? These are carbon shaft arrows, but the beauty of this is at the end of this has a hole in it which is threaded, so we'll be able to screw right into it. And if you look at that, it doesn't flex. It's extremely lightweight. What if the craft lands in water? The problem is it needs to float. The other problem is we're always up against that 6-pound weight limit. So it's weight. So you need to float and weight. What's the solution? Pool noodle.
We saw the color pink and I was like, I really don't want to use the color pink. But the great thing about pink, it's going to be easily seen in a field. The idea is you want it to stand out wherever it lands.
This is going to be plenty. Just a little bit on each corner will be more than enough to keep it out of the water.
The most important part of what we're doing is this GPS tracker. And since it is the most important part of this, where you actually might want to over-engineer. And in this case, Eric is going to use a technology called APRS, and then we're also going to use something called a spot GPS tracker.
This device is really a simple device, what you would utilize when you are hiking. It has the ability to keep people updated on where you are. It has a tracking where I can turn on this device, the little footprint, and as the craft is moving, it will be reporting through its network where the craft is, what the altitude is, and all that. And from other sites that I've seen, this has been a very good emergency backup kind of system for these balloons. So we're going to give it a try. Do we know for a fact it's going to work? No. But that's the exciting part.
It's because of this little device that you will see all of us, all the people involved, kind of getting really nervous and anxious, and there'll be a lot of tension because we're waiting for this thing to report back. So we're like, have you heard from the GPS? Have you heard from the GPS? And then when you see it, I found it, okay. It's 7 miles worth of, 7 miles, that type of thing. So
he really does get like that. It's
scary.
He really does. Watch it, calm, stay calm. This is where airline pilot training comes in. Your plane can be on fire, and you stay calm.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's also going to be very nerve-wracking, but hopefully we've made all the right choices and engineered everything as best as possible. And we're pretty confident we're going to have a good result. On our way out! It is 5:40 in the morning, Saturday, October the 20th. My buddy Eric Rader is driving next to me. We're on our way to FM 2294. We want to get out there so we can start preparing the craft. Everything has, I'm not going to say everything has been put together, it hasn't, but the main components have been put together. And what we're going to do when we get out there is we're just going to hook everything up, do our final testing. All right, we're getting ready to go on to FM 490. Woohoo! We're going to take FM 490 for, ready for this, Eric? 25.9 miles.
25.9 miles. All right, what happens after that?
Then you're going to make a right on FM 2844. Then you're going to make a left on FM 2294 until we find our little, it's a little dirt road. A little dirt driveway is actually what it is. So now that we came to the launch site, we're going to recalculate the balloon's flight path, make sure that everything is still okay, based on what Juan calculated this morning. If we want to land there, that means we have to come clear across Starr County, past the McCook area, to launch from here. This little area, we're literally in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's cactus right there. You see that cactus right there? Running the calculations again at 6:30 in the morning. We're all in agreement that this place is good enough to launch. So we're gonna get started.
All right.
Here are the regulators.
And the initial crash. No, I'm not going for a flight. This is full of tools.
Baggage plane.
This is the Garcia family. They're the first ones here. They were here before us. So this is what the bottom of the craft looks like.
All right, getting more. Juan's getting the pictures. We got the tools here. Compliments of the school to use.
We're going to connect these to the helium bottles.
This will be for measuring the balloon as we start to fill it up. You would not want a sharp one because it may cut the balloon. Looking here, this is the transmitter for the GPS, one of the APRS system. So what we're going to do, this one here then will be, this is going to be the little Hiawatha antenna.
I need to readjust these.
Okay. Do you need any help? We have got backups for our backups.
Inserts in there, and this will keep the camera from fogging up at 100,000 feet.
They're taking the pressure of the high pressure of the helium containers, like 2,250 pounds per square inch. They have, this reduces it down to about 150 pounds per square inch or less, and then it just comes out, so it doesn't come out in really strong force.
And knee pads, I didn't think I would need.
Morning, Dr. Alejandro. Roy, Rich Garcia, nice to meet you. And this is... Hi.
This is Mindy.
Oh, Mindy, I remember Mindy. Hi, good to see you. Good morning. So, come on over. Hey, Dr. Alejandro made it. And by the way, the cool thing is we're now beginning to see daylight. Woohoo! When we got here, it was pitch dark.
I'm getting the pictures. I got the last picture to put on. And then Richard's going to get over here and start putting the cameras on.
I am attaching it to the carbon fiber rod of the greed. Man, I can't talk this morning. Of the rig. And then what we're actually going to do is we're going to aim this down like this.
The camera should be okay right now, but you might need to make sure we wipe them off.
We're going to be the very first district to have their kids in near space. Can you, I mean, think about that. Think about that. How exciting that is. I mean, nobody, okay, has ever done anything like this. And now we have a representative from each grade level. 12 to 13 kids are represented from each grade level, and they're all going to be going to space.
I wrote about how technology helps us. There's districts spends a lot of money in technology helping us. We have computers, databases they pay for, and everything we have access to. It really helps us improve our knowledge.
Estamos muy emocionados y pues sobre todo estoy feliz de estar aquí acompañándolo a él para que él viva esta experiencia.
They're going to start getting the area ready for the balloon. We still have a little bit of zip tying to do, not too much. The battery over here, inside there, is going to be hand warmers. So one of the last things we're going to do is activate the chemical hand warmers, close the lid, and then we're going to put the Gorilla Tape around it to seal it up.
We want to be thorough. We want to be perfect. So if it takes longer than usual, that's okay. 8 a.m. was an estimate. Better safe than sorry. I'm sure you've heard that before, but it really applies here. Everything needs to be really precise. The more precise, the better chances we have of achieving our goal of sending it up to 100,000 and then recovering it.
We couldn't sleep last night, and I made sure we had double alarms this morning. Mom, you set your alarm, I set my alarm, the regular alarm, and Haley had her iPod with her, and we're like, we gotta make sure we wake up. We even skipped breakfast this morning just so we can get here on time.
Technology to me is having a laugh with my baby sister, because she was in the hospital because she had to have a heart surgery on her back. So she had the heart surgery when my mommy was with her. She started crying when she came out, but I thought those were tears of sadness, but they were actually tears of joy, so I started crying with her because my little sister Penelope is a lot to me. She's very, very special to me. Without technology,
usually they open up the heart through the front, but with that technology that they use, they were able to actually cut through the back and, kind of move the lungs a little bit to the side and work with the heart through her back instead of like the regular.
The typical heart surgery.
The typical, instead of cracking.
Sternum.
Go ahead. So it was kind of emotional, and when I came out of the room, the surgeon spoke to me. I started crying because I was so happy that she had survived her surgery, and she's very important to us.
She's very observant. She sees at school, in the hospitals, everywhere she goes. She's very observant. She sees it, technologies in use. She sees it, technologies of just a very critical part of life, and so. This is just another, application of technology. It's very fascinating. I think she's very excited to have her picture go up into space, and so are we.
Trying to get all the rocks, which have a lot of sharp edges, trying to get them away from the balloon.
Here is the balloon.
Voila!
It is a gigantic hunk of latex with a hole in it.
That the gloves are made out of.
Same materials as those. So, all right, here we go.
I have 100 latex gloves here. The importance of that is anytime you're handling the balloon, because the balloon is of a very sensitive sheer fabric. A fingernail, for example, that could pierce that balloon and you'd cause a leak. So it's imperative.
And it doesn't have to pierce it; it just has to etch it. And if it etches it, just gives it a weak spot. And when the balloon goes from 9 feet to 30 feet, it might rupture at 10 or it might rupture at 15.
Regulator and a valve. Maybe next time. Yeah, hold on.
we had to do some calculations and do some research. What we to reach the ascent rate we want, which is about 1,000 to 1,200 feet per minute, we need to fill this thing with about 220 cubic feet, and that'll give the lift to get to burst altitude. So actually what we're trying to do today, more than anything else, we want this thing to lift and take off fast so that it gets to burst altitude. So in other words, we're willing to compromise, we're willing to go not as high in favor of get up there as fast as you can so that it comes down and then we can track it.
So I'm about 5'5", 5'6". My arm span should be approximately that, and if I'm the span of the balloon, then that's about how big it is right now. It's okay, it's okay.
This is very risky.
Moving your finger? Okay. Okay, stop moving, stop moving. All right, now we're going to connect the balloon to the parachute. And there's a little nylon stop, or a rip, or what do you call it, ripcord or whatever, nylon. But it's super, super strong. So now what's going to happen is this is going to get hooked in to the balloon.
So this is 1,200. This is 500 for the kids. Oh yeah.
Okay, so now we got another one.
Right there. Okay, that's it.
Okay, hold on, you got it?
Jaime, can you hold on to that end, please?
How about any
watch
of those
the
students?
antenna.
Watch the antenna.
Get a cord right there, right on
Any
the
of the students?
You hold.
Come on, Haley.
Haley, stand over here,
Go
please.
watch the antenna.
Okay.
Watch the antenna.
Roy, just one more. Roy, get over here on this other side.
Okay, we're not letting it go right now. We've got
not
probably
letting it
about 10 minutes, 15 minutes left to do stuff.
Come on. Oh yeah. Sorry, you're gonna. Jasmine, come on.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is
antenna.
I want to go underneath and then kind of do this.
Okay. Okay. All right, Richard, do the limbo.
Lift it up a little bit.
A little bit more.
How low can you go? I'm gonna work on this one first. All right.
All right.
I can take.
Just tilt it up just a bit, and that keeps it out. I mean,
it's pretty good actually.
there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. Okay. But you can't.
So we're gonna break the handle.
Okay.
All right, folks, we're getting there. Tarp is laid out.
Check.
Latex gloves are on.
We're beyond all this.
Yeah, I know. We're going to go through the entire checklist.
Yes, sir.
All cameras are powered the night before.
Check.
All laptops, iPads, iPhones powered the night before.
Check.
Check.
Car, iPhone battery charger adapter in the SUV.
Check.
That's for the recovery tracking. Carbon fiber rods tied together inside elbows.
Check.
Carbon fiber rods secured to elbows snugly.
Check.
Carbon fiber rods have tape around elbows.
Check.
Carbon fiber rods have strings and reinforcements for securing parachute.
Check.
Hey, careful there, buddy. I heard that. Carbon fiber rod is tagged.
Yes.
Check is right here. Check.
Call Norma.
Call Norma, right.
Check.
Carbon fiber rod is tagged. Check. Okay. Mount is secured. Picture mount is secured to carbon fiber frame.
Check.
Check. Picture secured to mount.
Check.
Picture 7 inches from camera.
Check.
Rig is secured to radar reflector. Not applicable.
Not applicable. We work.
Radar reflector secured to parachute. Not applicable. So what we have now is rig is attached to parachute. Parachute attached to weather balloon.
Check.
GPS tracker is powered night before. Check. GPS tracker is powered on. That's okay.
All right.
Go, Rich.
The spot GPS is on.
This is what I want you to work on. Power on. Get all your tracking devices.
I'll get my stuff going.
I'll be right back.
I got it going on. I got it handled. Okay.
My son called me this morning and he told me when they were blowing the balloon. So we got the kids to see it and my daughter-in-law, Yolita. So this is very interesting, very, very interesting for us.
All we're trying to do right now is we're verifying that the devices are reporting back. Obviously, that's important for us to find it.
Okay. Now, bear in mind on the APRS, as we discussed, due to the location of where we are, it may not find itself until it gets up.
Okay.
So that's just a risk we have to take because we don't know. But we tested the equipment out in Weslaco and it worked fine.
I think it's amazing.
Yes.
It's nice for the kids to learn a lot about all this stuff. You know, it's so interesting. That's why my husband called me and we just got the kids on the truck and let's go see, you know. And it's interesting to go to see it fly up.
All right, let me connect this. Red to red, red to red, black to black, right? What happens if you do it the other way? You get a spark.
APRS tracker powered night before.
Check.
I'm going to go through it again. APS tracker is powered on.
But why do we need it to be warm?
Well, because we want to keep the battery warm as it gets into really cold air. It gets up to about minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, really cold. And as the battery gets cold, the voltage can start going down. Voltage goes down. The wattage that the transmitter is putting out is going to go down, and potentially it may not track anymore. So this is going to be an experiment with that. This is the first time doing it. We'll watch on the website. That's reporting to a website, and I will as soon as we get done, I'll shoot that out to everybody. The website you can go to watch that. This is on another website as well, and they're two different systems, and we'll be able to track and see how they're doing. They'll all report the altitude.
Check.
APRS tracker test telemetry. We already talked about that. Laptop prepared for live blogging. Check. Cameras have anti-fog filters.
Yes.
Check.
Check.
Cameras are firm and secure to rod and camera angles established.
Uber check.
Uber check.
Camera angle set. Check. Camera lens is wiped with lens cloth.
Hi, my name is Eric Rader. I was working yesterday with one of the supervisors notifying you that this morning we're going to be launching a balloon, a school weather, like a science project. We're legal.
The kids are holding right now a ring of cameras and they're going to let a big balloon up and they're going to take pictures of everything on the space.
9:25. Somebody remember that. Get that? 9:25. All right. All right. All right. Lift off.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
Hoping it'll land somewhere where they can get it and return it safely.
Let me know where I can, that way the parents aren't all following us. So let's meet somewhere in an hour and a half.
This is what I'm going to do.
Or in an hour.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I sent you an email. It's going to have a link to Google Maps with driving directions from here.
Okay.
Okay? And then all you have to do is click the link and it'll give you driving directions to the spot where we're going to be.
We're going to Ed Couch.
It's going to be...
It's north of Mercedes, southeast of Elsa.
Rich, my daughter wants to say thank you. And
Haley, congratulations. Well done. I hope you think that was exciting?
Yes.
Yeah, it was exciting for us too.
Where's your passport? All right. Thank you. I'll see you through Facebook. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so what I'm doing is I'm tethering my iPhone so that he can track as we're driving. So what I do is I take the Edge network signal here, and it turns it into a Wi-Fi, and then Eric can do as he pleases.
Everything didn't work out exactly as planned, but that's kind of what happens. You end up you have some things that pop up at the last minute, things you didn't expect, and you just have to, if you can, work around it and make it still work. Wow, Richard, it is like following the plan. I mean, it's on track and it's on altitude just from that prediction website. The key will be when it crosses 281, if it's at 60,000 or if it's more than 60,000, then it's possible it may go higher than the predicted.
I don't want to go chasing this after this thing in Mexico.
Do you speak Spanish? That's weird. It stopped and is going back the other way. It's gone down and then all of a sudden now it's turned back. It was supposed to continue on this way toward Weslaco, but now it's all of a sudden done a turn. It's at 86,000 feet and there's something weird with it. Okay, the balloon has burst, balloon has burst. Balloon has burst, it's at 73,000 feet, it's on the way down. Yeah, it's coming down. Coming down. Well, it's a good thing, but now it's going in an entirely, it's going toward McAllen. I'm trying to see how fast those numbers are changing, because then that lets me know, did the parachute open? Or is it in like free fall? It is landing completely different than what we planned. Turn around. It's going the opposite direction.
It's actually going towards McAllen now.
Oh wait, it's taken off now toward 281. Now all of a sudden it just like accelerated.
Okay, now it's going back to 281. I gotta turn around.
All right, we're approaching the intersection of 281 and Monte Cristo Road, and it's at 25,000 feet. We've got all the other cars in tow, of course, and we notified the parents who are going out to Ed Couch to turn around.
I thought it was going to touch down about noontime, and it's barely 11.
But yeah, be looking for Monte Cristo.
At this point, then the spot GPS takes over.
Ah, beautiful. Lots of farmland.
Beautiful.
Lots of farmland.
Monte Cristo, make a right, correct?
Yeah. Satellite view. Oh, it landed in a field. That's where it landed. It landed in a field. I bet you it landed in the middle of a field. The APRS system stops reporting below about 1,000 feet, so we have kind of the last track at about 2,000 feet, predicting kind of like where it's going. Luckily, there are fields and stuff out there that it's potentially landed in. The spot GPS tracker will give the actual location where it is, and right now what we're going to do is we're going to turn around, find the first road to take a right on, farm road, dirt road, and then just start heading out into the field. Mount up, let's go. I've got it plotted here, the last coordinates coming off the spot GPS. Keep going, and the road's going to turn to the right. When you get to the orchard, take a right, because it's back that way. And it's right there in the field. Right there. It's right there. Keep going straight. Go straight. Go straight. It's right in the field. Right in the street.
Woo! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby, we found it! Woo!
It was exactly where it said. Okay.
Woo! All right, there you go. Yeah, baby! Here it is. Yeah, baby, we found it! We got it! Go, Julian!
Watch the antenna. Watch the antenna.
There it is. Woo! Right here. It's center here.
Right. Watch the antenna. They found it. What had happened was, as it was coming down, because I could see from the altimeter, it was coming down pretty fast. What happened was, and this again is something we can look and design because we haven't really used this design before, the craft spun. So as it spun, it tightened up and basically made the parachute, instead of opening up to the full 6 feet, it was something less. So as we can tell from the impact, there's some things that got kind of messed up a little bit, but it's not that bad. We could not have been any more fortunate to have it land in this location. I mean, when it changed course, it was, I thought for sure it was going to land in somebody's backyard in Edinburgh.
Can I get a hall pass?
Oh, there it is. Mine opened.
Which one was that? That's
You're
the Pro 2.
I had some different ideas about how it was going to be, but it totally changed, and I think this was way better than what I expected.
Right. We can push this pin right through.
Well, no, I say if you, with the little screwdriver, take that, pry it off.
And then the pivot thing here, pull it out.
The first time was exciting because we had no idea what we were doing. We had no idea what to expect. We didn't even know if it would work. This time we were able to calculate a lot of different things. So what's really pleasing is seeing that those calculations were actually, they weren't too far off. For the exception of where it landed, we were supposed to land somewhere north of Mercedes, and here we are in Edinburgh.
The reason me being out here and being in the area was in case the balloon were to land in private property, the owners were to come out and question what you all are doing out here on their property, just to let them know that it is something legit. It's a school event. If they had any questions, make sure that for the safety of everybody, and they had the right to be here, and just to provide the security and safety for everybody that was involved.
I think actually what makes me happiest is watching the kids when they see that, and they're going to start taking. They're going to think science, technology, engineering, math is. They're going to think it's cool, and that's really what I like the most. They're going to think it's cool.
I don't think not many people have had that opportunity, you know, that privilege to see their picture up in space. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
That is totally fantastic what they've been able to do, and you know, this is going to get our kids up into space. I mean, and then the icing on the cake, I guess, is when when that balloon burst. What can I say? I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm already talking to them about the next time. What kids anywhere in the world have gone to space? These are the very first, and they're Weslaco ISD students that have gone into space, and we've got video to prove it.
We all have different areas of expertise, and we just all pull that together to be able to pull this project off.